It's survival, tipping culture in the service industry. Not gratitude. Not generosity. Not just a polite thank you at the end of a meal. In the service industry, tipping isn't about appreciation the way people like to frame it. That's the socially acceptable version. The version that sounds good in conversation. But on the floor, in restaurant work inside the hospitality industry, tipping is often about survival. If you've worked as a restaurant server, you already understand that difference. Because gratitude is optional. Rent isn't. In tipping culture, people say, tips are just a thank you. But when your income depends on them, they stop feeling symbolic, and start feeling essential. Hospitality professionals and service staff, if this resonates, like, share, and subscribe so we can grow a community that truly understands life on the floor. In server life, tips are how you pay your bills. They're how you afford groceries. They're how you cover gas. They're how you make it to the next shift. That changes the emotional weight completely. When you rely on tipping to survive, every table matters. Not because you're greedy. Not because you expect perfection. But because the math adds up fast. 3 week tips in a shift? That's your grocery budget. 1 large party that's stiffed? That's your phone bill. In the front of house, emotional labor is constant. You regulate your tone. You absorb frustration. You smooth over kitchen delays. You apologize for policies you didn't create. You smile through exhaustion. You adjust to personalities. You read moods. You anticipate needs. All of that effort happens before the check even arrives. And then the number appears. And in the service industry, that number decides more than people realize. When someone says, tipping is just a bonus, for restaurant servers, that's rarely true. In much of the hospitality industry, base pay is minimal. Sometimes barely above nothing. Tipping culture was designed to supplement. But for many, it became the foundation. That foundation feels unstable. Because gratitude fluctuates. Mood fluctuates. Perception fluctuates. Survival doesn't. And that's where the emotional tension lives. You can be perfect. Attentive. Professional. Efficient. Kind. And still walk out light. That unpredictability shapes server life in ways guests don't always see. It affects how you feel mid-shift. It affects how you calculate tables. It affects how you prioritize energy. It affects how long you stay in the industry. Because survival changes psychology. You stop thinking in compliments. You start thinking in totals. You start doing mental math between courses. You calculate percentages before the slip even comes back. That's not entitlement. That's survival instinct. And survival instinct is exhausting. Because it means every interaction carries weight. It means emotional labor is tied to financial outcome. It means your professionalism has stakes attached. And that pressure accumulates quietly. Most hospitality professionals won't say this out loud. But many feel it. The stress isn't just physical. It's economic. And when someone says, "Why do servers care so much about tips?" This is why. Because in the service industry, tipping culture isn't symbolic. It's structural. It determines whether the week feels stable. It determines whether the month feels tight. It determines whether burnout accelerates. This isn't about blaming guests. It's about naming reality. When tipping is the difference between scraping by and breathing easier, it stops feeling like gratitude. It becomes essential. Almost like oxygen. And that emotional weight is invisible to most of the room. If you've ever walked out of a shift calculating whether you made enough to feel okay, you already know. And if you've ever felt guilty for caring about the number, you don't need to. Because caring isn't greed. It's survival. This conversation continues. You're not alone in it. If this perspective adds value to you, take a moment to like, share, and subscribe so we can continue building a space that reflects the real experience of hospitality professionals. Be sure to catch the next episode. This is the server section, and thanks for watching.